So this is the content for today. So we have Mrs. V who will bring us through the mindfulness demonstration. And then we have Prof Goh who will be talking about stress and insomnia. And then we have NParks, Maxwell and Paul who will be guiding us through pandan propagation. And then finally we have Jen from RSVP who will be showing us music rhythm demonstration. Okay, and then as usual, the Q&A will be left to the last 15 minutes of the session. Okay, so now I'll just stop sharing first, and then I'll hand it over to Mrs. V. Hold on. Hi, Mrs. V.
Yeah, I'm muted. Okay, good morning.
We can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Lina. This is our last session, right? Is this going to be the last session? There'll be no more after this. Okay, so for this session, I want to I want to put more focus on for those, especially those instructors of ours who have found it actually difficult to do the meditation, or for whatever reason, you have really not been able to pick up the meditation and the mindfulness practice as a part of your own personal core practice. If you remember, when we, even during the days when we were doing the DPP, before we changed it to the AWE, the mindfulness practice map is one of the core modules. So in AWE, it comprises the core module is your health education, your map, and your exercise, right? And it is very important that as instructors of this particular program conducted by My Science Center, our outreach into the community, AWE is distinctly different from all the other types of classes, whether it's singing, cooking, dancing, yeah, even horticulture. Much of that focus on the social part of it, the social aspects of the gathering, yeah. And in that sense, AWE is distinctly different because we hope to inculcate and to be able to give the opportunity for our instructors to train themselves to have this this state of mental well-being, yeah, and resilience. And we can see that more so now with COVID-19 opening now, everybody's a bit more relaxed. We are all happier. Some of us, we have gone out yesterday, and moving on to the second and the third phase. Now, let's not forget, and we shouldn't, that the COVID-19, the risk and the exposures continue to be there, continue to be with us in the community. So for those of you who have been practicing doing your sitting meditation, practicing your mindfulness, I want to say thank you, because that is so important when we open up again and when you are able to then go back into the community and conduct the classes, all right? For those of you, for whatever reason you're not able to, today I want to share, make it very simple, 5 very simple steps, which I'll take you through soon, so that you will be able to at least have something to start with. And I really hope that the next time we meet again in person, you all will be able to share with me your meditation experience, and you will have lots of questions to ask as well, yeah, as we go through this, all right? So just give me a second. So, okay, I'm going to take you through 5 very simple steps. First, we start with the motivation. We start with the motivation. Remember what I said in one of my previous lessons, that you must be the map beneficiary. You must benefit from the map practice personally. You are not doing this practice simply to download the information and the data to the participants in the community. You must be the first beneficiary. Only when you benefit from this practice and you see how MAP has been useful for you to weather the storm, for you to de-stress, for you to reduce your anxiety and to be able to sleep better. Yeah. I'm not saying we can get rid of all of that, because we still have the doctors and the medication and so on. But if you can reduce it first without having to go to medication, that would be a great help, right, to yourself. So when we do this, then you start off with the motivation that you're doing this practice first to benefit yourself, not about going out there to the community to benefit others. That is secondary. That comes after you can benefit yourself. All right. Once you can benefit yourself, you will be a great help and you'll be a wonderful ambassador to your participants, because you will walk the talk. Yeah. So set up the motivation, but keep it simple. That first, I'm doing this practice to meditate in order to doing this meditation and this mindfulness practice in order to benefit myself and to benefit the community, the people I'm working for, the people I'm working with. All right. The second one is the posture. So when we sit in the certain posture, which I will take you through, and then we go to the breath, which we have been doing it every session, and then we finish it with, again, bringing awareness back to the posture again, sitting, and then we close with loving kindness meditation, which I did with you all in the second session. We can keep the loving kindness meditation simple and just have a very positive type of closure. Okay, all right. So okay, we can start now, and I will gong my bell here. We begin by first making ourselves comfortable, sitting either on the chair or the cushion. And we bring to mind our motivation for doing this particular practice. MAP, Mindful Awareness Practice. To benefit first ourselves, then to benefit others. As we sit in posture, we be aware of the contact of the body, the buttock, sitting either on the cushion or the seat of the chair, your 2 feet, stable, in contact with the floor. Your back upright. And if you are seated on the chair itself, we move the back away from the backrest. Our shoulders open. Eyes looking down the bridge of the nose. The chin gently tilted a little downwards. The tip of the tongue just touching the upper palate. Then we begin with a few deep breaths. And we bring our awareness to the sensation of the breath at the tip of the nostril or above the upper lip. As you breathe in and out, the flow of the air, the breath itself touching the tip of the nostril or the upper lip. Or if that is difficult for you to sense, then you bring your awareness to the sensation of the rising and falling of the abdomen with each in-breath and out-breath you take. You may close your eyes lightly or allow your eyes to be open a little, allowing lights to come in. And then you continue to breathe normally. When you sense that certain parts of the body is beginning to tighten up or giving you some discomfort, then in the next out-breath, you simply imagine that tension and discomfort being released with the out-breath you make. Whenever your mind gets distracted by thoughts of the past or the present and thinking what you need to do after this, or worrying and being concerned about what's to come, being anxious about what the future holds for you, you observe that and you bring your mind and your awareness again back to the sensation of the breath. This continuous awareness and mindfulness of the mind straying away from your object of meditation here, which is the sensation of the breath itself, will help to strengthen your mindfulness muscle, so to speak. Every time you make the effort to bring the mind back to the sensation of the breath, you are exercising your mindfulness muscles. And as we close this practice, we again bring our awareness to the body sitting in posture, in contact with the seat of the chair or the cushion. And in the final closing, we generate thoughts of loving kindness, first to ourselves. If we do not have love and kindness for ourselves, we really have nothing to share with others. We have nothing to give to others. And think, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be free from all physical and mental suffering of stress, anxiety, depression. And me, my family, friends, people in the community, all those medical staff, frontline, essential workers, may they be well, may they be happy, may they be free from all physical suffering, may they be free from all mental anxiety, stress, and depression. May all be well and happy. All right. Thank you. We are done for this session. Yeah, we'll keep the questions to the end.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thanks, Lena. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if that's the case, then I'll hand over to Prof Goh.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Prof, yes.
Yes. Good morning. Hi, Joffa. Yes. So, okay. So today we are going to look at stress and insomnia, and I'm going to show you one of the lessons. Aliga will get it up for us, right? Okay. Now, this lesson is on stress and insomnia, and that is actually taken from lesson 11. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so these are some classroom rules which we will pass today. Okay, next one. Okay, so we go on to the next slide again. Okay, so actually it's a case study, right? And in this case study, we have this man by the name of Yong Seng. So Yong Seng has trouble sleeping recently because he's stressed from his work, and he sees you to see what you can do for him, right? So the next slide shows us a bit more, which is to try to understand stress. Okay, as is shown on the slide, stress is actually with us every day, and we therefore need to learn how to manage it, right? How do we do that? The sixth slide will show us. Okay, right. So first thing, of course, to find out why are we stressed. Okay, so in order to find out more, we also need to know the times, the places, the people that we meet that will trigger this stress. Understanding that give us a clue as how to deal with it. Right. Then we go on to the next slide. Okay, so what can we do? Well, Mrs. Wee has just taken us through this relaxation mindfulness practice that helps a lot, right? Also, we are listening to music, and later we're going to see Genevieve and somebody else going to show us how you make music as part and parcel of relaxation too. And going for a stroll is also useful. So these are all strategies that we can use, right? Then we go on to the next slide. So we can also have this thing called time out, where you sort of relax several times a day. Do what Mrs. Wee has taken us to, right? This mindfulness relaxation. Of course, we can go for exercise, walk 30 minutes a day. That is the simplest. Just go for a walk. And at what speed you walk, at the speed that is comfortable for you. Right? As you get stronger, you'll be able to walk faster. Right? Then remember your hobbies. Right? So hobbies make us feel happy because we're engaged. Right? So these are the three strategies how you can deal with the stress. Right. Next, as you can see on the screen, Yong Seng is also not able to sleep, and he wants us to help him to do something. So the next slide will show us the first of 10 things. Okay, say 10 things. How do you remember? Well, the first 3 talks about the way we sleep, right? So we therefore need to keep regular hours, sleep the same time every night. That would be good. Secondly, your sleeping environment must be restful too, right? So no loud music, that's not going to help you. And thirdly, your bed must be comfortable, right? So 1, 2, 3. That's you also need to remember, by exercising regularly, you'll be able to sleep better because you have exercised, and that promotes sleep. So that's number 4. So Lega is going to show us a next slide where I have got another 6 more things to do. So the next 3 is the idea of called sleep hygiene. Okay, so the sleep hygiene is this. You need to think about habits, right? So less coffee, less overeating, and don't smoke. This is bad for your sleep, right? Okay, so that becomes to number 7 already. Then number 8 and number 9 is how do you manage this question of being restful. So you try to relax before you go to bed. And if you have worries, you should try and write down all those worries. So write away your worries. And finally, if you find that you're worrying in bed, you should get up and then write those worries and then go and sleep. So these are the 10 things. So let us ask Liga to go back one slide, Liga, to revise it again. Okay, so again, regular hours, restful environment, and make sure your bed is comfortable, right? And number 4, remember to exercise regularly. That helps, right? Then the next slide, right? So less coffee, don't overeat, don't smoke, right? So that's brings us to 7. Number 8, relax before going to bed. And 9, if you have worries, write them down and don't take them to your bed. And if you find that you're worrying, well, you should get up and write out all your worries before you go to bed again. Try this, and this will help you. So that is very fast. So I finished my part of the stop sharing this morning. So thank you very much, and over to Liga again. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof Goh.
Thank you.
So next, so we'll leave the questions till the end of the session. So if you have any questions for Prof Goh and Mrs. V, you can type them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand later towards the end of the session and we can address them. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Prof. Okay, so next, I'll hand it over to NParks. We have Paul and Max will be showing us pandan propagation. Okay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, hi, Prof Goh. Thanks for the great talk, and Ms. V for the great session earlier on. Right, just to show ourselves again. Here we are, myself, Max, and Paul. And today we have a new companion. So it's our intern. Yeah, great person. Wake up so to join us in this very interactive session. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to probably tilt down the camera so that you can see more action. But I'm going to bring everyone through and talk about the steps. And more importantly, to build the appreciation on the session objective. Okay. So from the last week, right, what we had was talking about preparation for pandan propagation. Not sure we people still remember. So we have this pandan plant here. So before I go into the steps to do this pandan propagation, right, we need to start from the beginning. So what is the objective for today's session? As a therapeutic horticulture, right, every session starts with an objective. So for pandan propagation, right, the objective is really about social connectedness, reminiscence, and the physical part is the fine motor skills. So what has it got to do with reminiscence? Because we know pandan in our local culture, right, has a strong significance to food, right? Culturally, our parents, even ourselves, even till date, you see a lot of food surrounding the flavor of pandan. Food like savory food from even the most well-known chicken rice, all the way to your kuehs, they are all made of pandan, and all your favorite desserts, they all contain pandan in them. So we can see that pandan plays such an essential role for people of all age groups, right? Then another thing is that when you talk about plant that's so familiar with everyone, it opens up the conversation, right? People start to contribute. You can start to have interactive session with them. And then lastly, we talk about fine motor skill. Okay. So fine motor skill comes in when the participants start to need to activate. Yes, yeah. So this will activate their fingers and then start to cut all these parts. Okay. So in a normal circumstance, right, when you buy pandan, you probably won't come in a pot. You probably buy pandan that comes in a stock. from the supermarket. So now I'm going to go into the steps proper. What you're going to do, okay? So I'm just going to demonstrate. So this is a usual pandan that you buy from the supermarket, right? It comes with the roots, okay, the roots and the stem portion, right? So this is the kind of pandan you want to buy if you like to propagate. Buy pandan that comes with a bit of the roots, a very thick stem at the bottom, because this will allow you to propagate. But if you buy pandan that comes with the leaf without the stem, then I'm sorry, you cannot propagate that pandan, but you can definitely eat them, all right? Okay, so if this is the one that I bought from the supermarket, so what do? I'm going to show you two different ways of propagating them. Right, the first way is the easiest way. I'm going to use water. So I have with me a container, right? You can use a bottle. You can use a bottle, correct? So I could even use a bottle, right? For demonstration, I'm going to pour into the cup. So once I pour the content into this area, so now I have, okay, with me. So with this pandan, so should I cut away the leaves before I put them into the water? You could, okay, because during the propagation period, you want to remove the excess competitors for energy. So you could cut away some of the leaves. But always remember the leaf, a few leaves behind, because leaves help to make food for the plant, okay? So I just gonna cut. So I cut away some of the leaf, about, I would say 70%. So now you see this plant has less leaf. So with this cup of water, this is so simple, okay? When you buy fresh pandan from the market, the tail end of this, the stem parts, just maybe trim it off, okay? Trim it off. Okay, here also, should trim off a bit more. So you see, you can expose the young shoots that's about to come up, okay? So I just gonna put it in the water. So with this, right, this is the easiest way to propagate pandan. It's done. But at this stage, right, very important, you want to prevent mosquito breeding, right? Because you can see that there's a lot of open surface. You want to prevent mosquito breeding. Make sure you cover up this area, all right? Cover up this area with a plastic, clean wrap, so that it doesn't cause any mosquito to go in. Or alternatively, right, to overcome this problem, use a water bottle with a smaller opening. Or you could also add sand. Add sand into the mixture of this water, or add leca, expanded clay, into the mixture of this water. Okay. So we can do that. Then that way we will help to prevent mosquito breeding. Make sure this opening is covered, or make sure there is no water body exposed this way. So this is the first way, using water. Where do you place this cup of pandan cutting? You can put it next to the window in the house, somewhere bright, okay, somewhere that receives about a few hours sunlight a day. Don't put it in your bedroom, right? You may not receive enough light because you may have curtains, you may have other things. Put it maybe in your kitchen, receive a lot of light. That'll be wonderful. Next, I'm going to show you how we're going to do the traditional way. That means, because by putting it in the water, right, eventually we will have to transplant. So now Paul is going to help us with filling the pots with soil. So today, right, the materials that we are using, just want to show everyone, right, the materials that we are using, this is a potting mix. Okay. So this is a potting mix. So a potting mix, inside it includes, you can see that there is some perlites. It's quite fibrous, right? It's composted So the amount inside is actually quite good for growing for a lot of type of plants. So this is a good mixture for planting of several type of plants. So you're just gonna put it in, right? Just fill up the whole pot. So the advantage of growing pandan in the soil from the beginning is that I don't have to transplant anymore because this is the forever home for the pandan plant, and I don't have to worry about mosquito. So once the pot is filled, I make a small den, okay? Right, small little hole here. Right, once the hole is made, then I put my pandan. Okay, I put my pandan in. So the good thing is that you see pandan, right? They have very strong, thick roots. So these roots, they don't break easily, right? Unlike your vegetable roots, they are very soft, but these roots are very strong because as they grow older, you notice pandan roots is exposed. They can almost support the whole plant, so the roots are very strong. So now the pandan is in, so maybe we can top up a bit more soil just to make sure it's stabilized. So we just put in more soil. So this is the second way to propagate pandan, right? So once the pandan plant is stabilized, right, then we will water it. Okay, just water it. Yeah. So this is an express session. This session is aimed to equip our trainers with the sets of skills. But if I'm going to do it with participants, right, I will do it much slower. At every step, I will have to make sure that they are following, they know the purpose of it, right, and how they achieve the eventual result. So with this plant is already well propagated. And where can I place the plant? I can place this along the corridor where somewhere that can receive about 3 to 4 hours sunlight. That would be enough for a pandan plant. Again, you cannot put it in your bedroom because it'll be too dark. You know, your pandan will require at least 3 to 4 hours of sunlight. So average vegetables require 8 hours of sunlight. So pandan only require half the amount of sunlight of vegetables. So it's a plant that is a lot easier to grow for most of the people, right? Okay, so yes, this is how you propagate a pandan plant. And I hope everyone take away some tips from here. So okay, first time watering. So if you want to water first time, right, you make sure you water through, right? Water until the water flows out from the bottom of the pot. That will last you for a long time. So pandan is a plant that tolerate high watering, but your soil must be porous. Otherwise, it holds too much water. Pandan can also rot eventually. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So maybe we hand back the session to Ling Er.
Oh, there's one more question.
Okay, so where do you get the potting mix? You can get the potting mix from NTUC because we know that the nurseries are not open at this phase 2. Get it from NTUC, cold storage, supermarkets. Generally, they sell potting mix. Yeah. So yeah. So right now, NParks is also giving away seeds under this gardening with edibles initiative. You just need to Google it, put in your address. The seeds will be sent to your house free of charge. But one household, one packet. One packet or mixture lah. So you cannot choose, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. So we pass the session back to Ling Er. Any question will still be around. Thank you.
Thank you, Ling. Okay, so we're moving on to the last segment now. So we would have we'll have Genevieve and Lynn.
Right. Okay, hi everybody. Nice to see you here. So I'll be taking you through this fun drumming session. So for the final segment, and I'll just run through just a very few slides to let you know. I'm one of the board members of RSVP, which is the Organization of Senior Volunteers. And for our AWE sessions that we've conducted since last year, we do a few sessions. Of course, we've got the health education, we've got the mindful awareness practice, which is what you've gone through today as well. But in our center, what we do is for exercise, we'll have the meridian flapping, and our other segment, which I'll take you through a portion of it, is music, reminiscence, and rhythm. So since we don't have drum sets and all, so we've actually made use of pails. We also do things like with your hands and body rhythm and all that, so that forms part of our program. All right, next. And why is it that we use music? Because we know that music activates multiple senses, and when you engage different senses, of course, then it helps with your cognitive function also. Yeah, so it's about, as you can see there, it enhances your cognitive ability, as it activates various parts of the brain and causes all these sparks, you know, like how Marie Kondo would say, does it spark joy? So really it sparks joy in our brain, you know, because it's activating different parts of our brain. And it's also your hand movement, so you involve your sight, your hearing, your touch. So because of that, it really helps, right? So next. And you can see, I'm not going to run through this whole long thing because I rather use the time available, which is very short, to run through the actual drumming session. So we will share this, you can share the slides, and you see that it affects every part of our brain. Music stimulates it, and when you stimulate, it's been found, studies have been shown that if you take part in more cerebral activities, it always helps to improve your cognitive function. Okay, next. Right, so the fun drumming, this is where I'll take you through this. Now, does everybody, can we stop share of the screen? We'll get back to that later. Now, does everybody have the, let me just, does everybody have their drums? Is your pail, right? And if you don't have the drumsticks, just use chopsticks. I've got the drumsticks, so I'm just gonna try to lift the pail a bit so that y'all can see, y'all can see me, right? So, yeah. So do you all have your, yeah, I can see people with their drumsticks and their pails, right? All right, so we're going to use this song called Let's Twist Again. Some of you might have heard if you've come in earlier. And that's a very fun rock and roll number by Chubby Checker. So we'll practice first, okay? So can you all have your drum, your pail, we'll call it a drum, right? And your sticks, okay? So the song is very simple to follow. It involves, you'll hear the music come on, and what we'll do is that you follow along with me, all right? You follow along, then you'll be able to, then you when we play the music, it all will sink in really well. Okay, so the first part of the song you'll hear, we will rock forward 4 times. Okay, you just move forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, forward and back. Okay, let's try that. It is all in counts of 8. So I will be counting throughout the song, so you will be able to follow me, okay? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. I see some of you really following along. Now, the first movement will be, we're gonna go 1, 2, tap your sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the drums. 5, 6 on the side. 7, 8. Okay, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the whole sequence will go forward 4, back 4, and then your stick movement. Okay, so let's try again. You move forward first. 1, 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3, 4. Then your sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, one more time before we play the music, and you can just try that. All right, ready? Go forward first. Forward 2, 3, 4. Back 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, one last time, and then we'll try the music. Okay, ready? Forward. Forward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's try with the music just for the first part so that we can get into it, and then I'll teach you the other movements. Okay, let's do this first part first. Okay, music. Do we have the music?
It's coming up.
Okay, can you all hear?
Oh, you're looking good.
Can you all hear? No, can you start again and make it, just keep it loud because the music's going on and off like that, yeah.
It's maximum.
Okay, just go back to the start again. All right, so you hear Chubby Checker will start the intro, then after that, come on, let's twist again. That's the first part, then we'll start moving forward. I'll cue you in, okay? So let's start again. Okay, that's good. Can you hear now?
We're going to do the twist.
So slide. No, it's okay. Sorry, Lillian, your music's going on and off, on and off. So maybe, Lin, can you help me? We'll try with yours.
Yeah, can you give me a minute?
Sorry, this is a technical issue, so we will get there, don't worry.
Clap your hands.
Okay?
Oh, you're looking.
Can you hear now? Just help me in the note.
Oh, it won't take long.
Oh, okay.
Do the twist and it
I
goes
can just forward. Come on. Oh. Okay, sorry, because the music is going on and off. It's just start again. Start again.
I'm gonna see your hands. Oh, you're looking good.
Good, okay.
I'm gonna sing my song. It won't
Don't
take
take
long.
long.
I'm gonna do the twist and it
It
goes
goes like this. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What happened to the music? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, all right, stop. Could you all hear? I think it went on and off, right? I think some of you can hear it's on and off. So what you do, so you can hear when you will start forward, back, and then it's this, the drumming, all right? Then you will hear him go round and round and round, this part of the song. We're going to go around, okay? Take your sticks and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You will hear the song, this part, it will change, so you just keep going around 8. And then back again, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So you hear him go round and round, so that's what we will change to. All right? So can we try again the music? Lina, I don't know why so on your end the music is going on and off as well.
Okay, I'll try one more time.
Yeah, okay, so let's try and get ready again. Okay, get ready. Good. Is that the loudest?
It won't take long.
It goes like this. Get forward. Forward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can we stop? I don't know what's wrong with the music. It keeps going on and off. You all get it?
Genevieve, we're just 5 minutes because we're close.
Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Because another meeting going on.
We can't finish the song, so never mind. We'll just play again. Are we done? Are we run out of time already?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. What we have, Lillian, maybe you can show the slide. We do have this stay-at-home activities with RSVP, which you can also sign up and join. But there's also the drum segment, which I've recorded on video, which you can also follow. So we can do that. That is just to give you a taste of it so that you can listen to the video if you need to. Okay? Hope to see you all. Thank you very much.
So thanks, Genevieve, I know this is the last session. There are a couple of announcements I must make for all of you. And before I begin, I want to thank all the people who spent so much time to help us. You see the enthusiasm of Genevieve overflowing, you know, and also Gyok Hua has done so much for the mindfulness. And what she's done is the Mindful Awareness Practice, MEP, which is the brainchild of the late Mr. Wee Sin To and also Gyok Hua. We're using it for all our research because what we have done so far in the past, always borrowing from the Americans, the BRICS. This is something Singapore, you know, and it's really published in the World's Journal. And also thank my partner in crime, Professor Goh, who's always with me. And we're trying to make it a very interesting thing. It's for the prevention of dementia, depression, and anxiety. And to let people know in this time of the pandemic, people are also working very, very hard. And all of you helping out. I forgot to mention Max. Where's Max? Max and Paul. You know, they also the NParks people are wonderful to all of us, and we want this to carry on. I think this is something very important, not just for ourselves, but for Singapore. You know, the prevention part of it. If they are able to manage their own anxiety, depression, they can overcome some of the stress of the pandemic. Now there's a condition called COVID anxiety. People are very stressed. You know. I run a clinic in NUS, and there's a lot of people are very stressed out by this, the CV itself. But it's necessary, the CV, the circuit breaker. So we're going to thank all of you for all this program. And we also want to let you all know that AWE program is organic, it's always growing. New ideas are coming. Yesterday evening, a long chat with Professor Goligan on how to improve the program. It's going to be presented at the World Congress. Everybody looking at this program, you know, how wonderful it is. And one of the things that some excited some of you was the virtual choir. So we have got a name that come from various groups, and I hope all of you will give it to Lynn, if possible, by the end of next week, because we want to assemble a virtual choir maybe sometime in August or September. There'll be a 4 session, 1 hour session or 1.5, and be trained by someone very wonderful, Ko Ai Ming, wonderful singer, you know. I'm also hoping I see Rashid down there in Asia. We're hoping also there'll be a Malay group. Is Rashid somewhere around there? I saw his name. The Malay group is very, Rashid, I can see him with always a wonderful portrait of family in the background. And this Ko Ai Ming comes from Malaysia, from Kelantan, and she gave a performance in Esplanade and sang the songs of P. Ramlee, you know, Gitaran Jiwa. I'm sure Rashid knows the song very well. And she can perform a lot of things for all of us. I hope this can make it interesting for your group. So even Genevieve, your RSVP, we hope a few people. We cannot have all of you. I know some groups want to have 20 people, impossible. We maybe have 5 from each group. And then if it's doing well, then you can expand it within your group itself. And first part of it, we'll get some people to pay for the expenses, and the trainer needs some expenses also, trainer for that. The second part of it is the forest therapy, which people talk about all the time. And we're trying to work with Paul and Max. Maybe let us know how we can work out a program. And Paul and Max help us out in this program called NAMAS, Nature and Mindful Awareness. And it's doing very, very well. And everyone asked for it. And so maybe I'll talk to Paul and Max and also Lynn, how we can bring all this together, have a training course, maybe also at the Botanic Gardens. And once again, this entails costs, you know. And we got some people who are keen to pay for the cost. In fact, the person who is in charge, willing to finance, is a retired American senator living here in Singapore. You see, I'm very excited by this program. I'd like to pay for the cost of all this. So there's something coming up. And I hope also within your group itself, for example, I think the Tampines group, also the Common Sign group, Queenstown, they expanded, you know. So it's not just 20 people, there are more people coming in. So we would encourage you to expand within your group itself. Whether you're in UNOS or in Tampines, if more people join you, it's better, because we want that more people, the program reach out to more people, not just the same people. I think very important for us, you know. So I just have 1 minute left. I'm going to ask anybody else, any of the instructors, anyone, any question before we clear, because another session coming up, 4 minutes from now. So, anything else? Anybody else? Any Any burning question? I know, yeah. Any burning question? So once again, thank all of you, all the instructors.
Thank you.
Make it so interesting, you know, this program. I really enjoyed listening to all of you. I know it's a wet Saturday afternoon, and I escaped from Goligan's session to make a cup of coffee. So it's wonderful, and you're going to do the same thing. And then you look forward to this, and we're hoping also to see all of you for a volunteers meeting. If we can each other wonderful lunch, if not, if you virtual, but to see how we can make a program interesting. And the Zoom can take more than 600, isn't it? In 2 months. Yes, 1,000. That's right.
Yes.
No, last month Professor Goligan asked me to speak to his friends, the GPs, you know, the family doctors. They start at 9 o'clock at night, you know, and finish up at 10:30. So I told next time you have this kind of evening, I'll come in my pajamas. You know, I'll finish off in pajamas. You know. But I think 1,000 we can take in everybody you have in your site, maybe Lynn, in the volunteers thank you thing, we can have all them online, and then we see how we can do.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I have to end here because the other side are waiting for us. So thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Yes.
And look into Genevieve's website also to see what she's doing with drumming. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's the video. Yeah, we've given you the link. If not, just reach out to us. We'll more than happy for you to join us.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you, Professor.
Bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Wee.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
very
lesson.
much. Thank you.